Hey everyone, welcome to another MLM Dumpster Fire. Today we're here to watch a interview type of live stream that I found on Instagram. It seems to be very random. I believe one of these reps is higher up in Arbonne, but they're both Arbonne Huns. Before we get into the video, don't forget to click the like and subscribe button. That's a nice free way that you can support my channel if you would like. And as always, big shout out to my channel members. And let's just get right into this. This is a really long live stream, by the way. It's 45 minutes. So I'm not sure if we're gonna watch the whole thing. Honestly, I don't want to torture you guys, so we'll see. It depends on how problematic they are. We'll see if we're gonna watch the whole thing or not.
I'm gonna go live with a consultant from my team, Meg, and she just promoted to district manager in December. And her story is really freaking cool. It is one of the most resilient stories I've heard. And she just joined, and I wanted to ask her some questions and have her share with you guys why she didn't quit, what happened, and I'm literally anybody else would have quit and nobody would have asked any questions because she had every freaking reason to. So here she is now. Amazing.
Hi.
Hi.
I liked the little bit before joining where it was hyping me up a little bit.
Yeah. I'm it's always an awkward leg, and I'm I just talk through it now. But I was just...
Well, you talk through it, but don't you watch your live streams back? They probably don't, because otherwise they would know that you talking through it is just making it worse because there's no audio. There's no audio when someone is joining.
Just giving you a little introduction, and I want you to introduce yourself.
Okay. This is always the awkward part, but hi, I'm Meg. As Ashley was mentioning, I'm a member of her team. I joined the business about 2 years ago under a different upline. That is a whole story in itself. We've kind of touched on it, but it was just really something that I never really touched on publicly because we needed to leave it in the past. But in that scenario, where I was in before, well, first of all, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I work full-time already, I'm a competitive CrossFit athlete, I am a certified nutrition coach, I'm one of the coaches in our 30 Days to Healthy Living group, and I focus on habit change psychology. And that is what actually...
Wait. So are you an actual certified nutritionist or are you... What?
What actually brought me into the business in the first place is because I was already working towards my certification when I joined the business, but it was for myself. It kind of ended up developing into, I knew that this would be something that I could offer to my already existing client base. But why I joined the business is because I suffer from 2 very severe chronic illnesses that were basically you get these diagnoses.
This is the thing, with monat, when hairstylists are already earning money from their clients and then they decide to join monat, and then they earn even more money from their clients by selling them monat and recruiting them into the product-based pyramid scheme, in my opinion. So it's the same thing with this person. She's actually a nutritionist apparently, and she was working with clients, and then she joined an MLM, and now she's shilling an MLM product to her clients.
These diagnoses, the doctors tell you, have fun, figure it out by yourself. They're 2 sort of conditions that don't have any known cause or known cures. So I had to change my entire lifestyle. I had to do all the things. I had to start moving my body more. I had to start resting more. I had to start doing this and doing that and doing this. So it required a lot on my part, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. So I ended up going into becoming a certified nutrition coach and lifestyle coach because I never wanted to.
Okay, at least she didn't say that Arbonne products helped with her chronic conditions that she was struggling with.
Anybody to feel that alone piece ever again. I didn't want anybody to have to go through that by themselves. And then I had undergone a lot of physical changes myself, was feeling better, but still was suffering from a lot of gut damage. And I contacted my then upline as a last-ditch Hail Mary effort to
You're
kind of...
please help.
Yeah, I had tried everything. Like I had lost 60 pounds. I was very, very active. I eliminated all of the foods that I was supposed to eliminate. And the only thing that I hadn't changed was my supplements. So I was never really able to digest coffee well. So it made like the transition to fizz the logical.
Sorry, I need to pause. Something's going on with my cats outside. Give me a minute. All right, so excuse me, but I'm gonna keep looking through my window a little bit to keep everything under control. So I might seem a little bit distracted. That's because I probably am distracted. These last few days, there's been this black cat that is someone else's cat. It's not a feral cat, but they've been kind of fighting. So if I see that cat, I just go outside and shoo it away. And if you're wondering why my cats are outside, it's because they were feral when I got them. So they prefer to be outside. Toto is the elder, right? She's the elder cat. But now Rosa lately has taken over since Toto is like 8 or 9 years old. So now like Rosa is the more dominant one who is keeping all the other cats away from their territory. Anyway, so yeah, excuse me because I'm gonna keep looking through the window.
Choice, but then I also went in on the original Green Gut Glow, and within a week of using it, it was like, I need to be sharing this shit. Like I need to be selling this, and I need people to know about this, because like I said, like I didn't in a million years think that it was ever going to even work. Like it was
you never really do. Right?
No.
And like it's crazy that even within a week you were noticing all these things, because for me it was like around the 2-month mark of like.
And I've had clients the same thing where like it takes them a solid, and then I've had somebody contact me after like 4 days being like, I've already lost 5 pounds just by using the green synergy. So it's just like, you never know, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so
5 pounds in 4 days. That is concerning. I don't understand, how do these people say these things? Or if you have somebody who comes to you and says, oh my God, I've lost 5 pounds in 4 days, you should be concerned for them and not happy for them. That is unhealthy. That sounds very dangerous and not healthy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was my story. And so I started selling, and it became really like a really great match for me developing into the coach that I wanted to be, achieved my certification. But throughout that, I didn't really know my footing yet. So under the previous upline, I promoted twice to district manager, but both times it was when that person was promoting themselves. So it was always.
Let's just touch on this really quick. So like when you promote in Arbonne, so like you do the qualification period, you do the volume, you promote. If you can't sustain that volume after a certain time as a district, it's like quicker than
You
being a nation, obviously.
lose it within 2 months if you don't make your maintenance. Yeah.
Yeah. So like you can fall out of your rank if you're consistently not hitting your numbers. And like again, nothing bad happens. There's no like shame spiral or anything like that. It's just, when you hit management levels, you're paid more. So there's more on the line. You have a sales maintenance because it's based on your performance. So Meg, like reaching this, like it's a big deal. And then it's like kind of soul crushing when that happens. And like after the first time you lost it, how did your confidence feel? Like how did you?
It took me over a year to even remotely try again. Like it at that point, the first time that I lost it was after only being in the business for 3 months. Ooh. So I had no idea what that even meant. But like I said, I came into the business like a month before this person decided that they were going to promote to RVP, which is the 3rd level of management. And so I didn't know what I was doing. I followed her.
Let's keep in mind how she said this. She mentioned the first time I lost rank. So she's lost her rank multiple times. And this is something that bothers me about MLMs, is they're so insecure. Even when you rank up a little bit, you can lose it all. I'm gonna link the income disclosure statement from Arbonne in the description box below so that you can take a look at it. And they said, oh, you get paid more at higher ranks. But in reality, first rank is independent consultant. They don't make any profit. Second rank is area manager. they probably don't make any profit either at that rank. So yeah, you get paid more, but you're probably still not profiting even when you manage to rank up once. Even the district area managers, I think I remember they make about 11,000 a year, so they make a little bit of profit, but still not enough to make this like a full-time job or whatever. And it's still so unstable. MLMs are just never the solution.
Put her lead, and I was being given the wrong advice. I was basically being told like, oh, when we do this, it lifts the lid for everybody else. So it means that you have to go for it too. And me being the perfectionist that I am, I just ran with it, and I was like, I need to be perfect at this. I didn't even know anything about the business at this point. Like I was so
insane.
blind.
Okay,
I was so
like
blind.
I'm gonna clarify what like because like lifting the lid is a big
Yeah.
term in network marketing, right? So like when we hear lift the lid, some people roll their eyes and they go, "Oh, lift the lid." It's like actually lifting the lid is really fucking important. So what it represents is essentially if the upline doesn't have like big goals, then their team will be smothered underneath them. So like I've seen this happen where it's like an upline doesn't work and they do nothing and they don't go on team calls and they're not engaged in the community. And what happens is their team can't.
Damn it, that cat is back. Give me a second. The cat's gone now, but keeps trying to come back though. He's very persistent.
Their team can't grow because they're being raised under somebody who doesn't have goals. So for me, when I go, okay, I have to lift the lid on my team, it doesn't mean that anybody has to do anything in my team because of it. It means that I have to create big enough like vision and goals for myself so that there is space for people to come up, right? So that's actually like what lifting the lid is. So when there is like an abuse of lifting the lid, it really fucking takes away from what that actually means and what it's supposed to do for yourself and your team. Like that sucks.
And I think that this person too, the way that they ran their business, they wanted to reach the top no matter what. And they wanted to reach the top faster than anybody else.
So this is a person that left Arbonne, probably a top rep that left in the last maybe a year, I would say. They're talking shit about her on a public live stream on social media, which is so not professional. Yeah, sure, like abusing the system and whatnot, but like, come on, you're in a product-based pyramid scheme. In my opinion, it's such an unethical business model. You're scamming people out of money. So are we surprised? Your whole business is a shit show, in my opinion.
Me being so new in this business, this person was also very, very new. So they didn't know what that meant. They just kind of were being told, oh, you're lifting the lid for your team, and didn't really know what that meant. They didn't hold that space for the people under them to develop along with them instead of feeling like they had to do it for this person. And that was in that case, and in my second time promoting to this level, it was always for somebody else. It was always for, I feel the need and I feel the obligation because of the way that this person speaks to me and about me, that I have to contribute to their numbers. I have to, otherwise I don't exist, or like I don't have value.
That's like,
and that was really hard.
makes me hot.
I know that now.
I'm sweating now. I'm like, stop. Okay, I'm gonna like, no.
I know that now.
You know what? But like, that's not unique to you. Like, I've spoken to a lot of other people, who came from different companies, from different whatever, and they were the same. They were like, yeah, like my upline essentially like told us what we were doing, and we had to work for that. And that's fucking crazy to me because I'm like, in network marketing, nobody works for me. There is a volunteer army that makes up a team, and that volunteer army doesn't grow unless the goal and the mission comes from within. Right? So like if
Girl, now you're just lying. How many people do you have in your downline, and how many of those people in your downline are making a profit in Arbonne? Because from the income disclosure statement that Arbonne puts out themselves, they are not making any profit. So yes, your downline is working for you. You get benefits based off of your downline's work. So don't try to pretend like you don't benefit from their work. Come on, that's such bullshit.
I looked at Meg and was like, Meg, you have to do 5,000 this month because my goal is this. You're not working because you want to work. you're working to meet a standard that's not yours. And also, I don't pay you. You don't
Yeah.
work for me.
But that's the whole point of this business, right? Is that you can.
Technically, they don't work for you. You're all independent contractors for Arbonne, but you're absolutely getting benefits off of your downline's work.
You want to go after certain things, and like you need to be able to do them for yourself. So you need to have somebody who builds that space that you can develop into the person that you want to. Yes, you're going to encourage me, for example. I don't know what happened there, but of course you're going to encourage. I don't know, but like you, it's cute look though.
I don't know how to fix it, so we're in it.
Okay. Like now I lost my train of thought, but like you want somebody who's going to, yes, encourage you when you say that you want to go after like area, for example, or DM. You want that person to hold the space for you to do it by yourself. That's not going to hold you by the hand in certain ways, but it has that leadership that can give you ideas on how to do it, and who is going to encourage you and be like, I know you can do it, but if you don't do it, then that's okay too.
And that's really tough. That's really important. Like, it's so important. Like, as leaders in this industry, we are meant to like, because when a lot of people come into the business, they don't have belief in themselves. They don't have belief in this business. They don't. So like, that's our job. That's our job, is to like show you the way and to show you what is possible and what can be done. But you have to want it, right? Because I'm like, for people, I'm like, I can't care more about your success than you do. You have to drive for it. But when you like make people push for things that aren't coming from them, it just goes down in flames. So,
Yeah.
okay, tell us about your second promotion.
So the second time that I promoted was when this person was then going for national vice president, which is the top level 1% of the company. And it was chaos, like complete and utter chaos. We didn't have a plan. And there was like, it was when there was a reduced qualification and the person's like, well, let's go for it. And I will give this to her. She did have a meeting with the team and asked us our opinion first, which, knowing this person, is pretty shocking. But that being said, she did ask us. And so we were all like, we have nothing to lose. But we all said, let's keep in mind that if after the first month of running, we know that if we even qualify, if we go through the second month and we promote, we can't maintain that, then let's not do it. Yeah. And there's a very small group of us that all started around the same time that she put a lot of weight on us to kind of drive the team and be like the support, and like be like watching her kids and like doing all the things, like the personal things. Okay. So, and like really being the support for the team. And she was basically like the god.
Which is so insane because, you know, like this team at the time, like
you know, I love when they badmouth people who left, like the ex-reps, because that just shows the toxicity in these MLMs. But this is not different from any other top leaders. They are like God to their downline. They are the success. These people are looking up to them because they're so successful, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, there's other ways around it to go about like trying to motivate your downline. But at the end of the day, they do have to try to motivate their downline to work more because they get more benefits off of that. So, except for like maybe in the way they talk to their downline and how much pressure they put on their downline. But absolutely, top reps always try to motivate their downline because they get benefits. The more their downline works, the more benefits they get themselves.
Max level that was in it was district manager, right?
District manager.
So the highest level person in it was the first rank. And that responsibility, even your guys' ability to be like, okay, like let's do an inventory, and after the first month, like let's talk, and if this isn't going to be sustainable, let's not. Like that level of like awareness in an IC or a district manager is insane, right?
And yeah. And at the end of the first month, when that person had to almost go to like the very last minute submitting personal orders to get into qual.
Mhm.
No. And so we had a chat, like we all reached out to her and been like, you know, this might not be the best idea. Like we have people dropping out from underneath our personal teams because they're feeling too much of the pressure. They're feeling like they're being micromanaged and just the whole thing. And then we still went for it anyway because this person's ego and pride was way too big.
Yeah.
And she was doing it by herself. She did it by herself. Even when she like promoted and everything, it was, we would have our meetings after the fact of being like, well, none of you bitches know what you're doing. None of you could run this team if I needed you to, and blah.
And then, like,
it
also being like, why is it your fucking job to run their team? And also, like, we don't call people little bitches on training calls. Oops, no, we don't. Oh, we don't treat people like that. That's crazy.
no, no,
that's wild.
So I lost my promotion within 2 months. Like I lost my title. I re-promoted in no.
Who was this person? What the fuck? She was calling them little bitches on trainings? All right, that's very abusive if that's true. That is horrible.
November when this person went nation, and I lost it by the end of January because again, I was doing misaligned work for the way that I finally knew that I wanted to run my business, because at that point I had been in the business for a year and I finally found my footing and what this business meant for me. And then even then, it's been another year since I finally felt like I was okay to go for it again. You know, like it's just, that's
Well, I mean, no wonder if she really had an upline who's calling them abusive words in trainings to make them work harder and more so that she could benefit. That's insane. But the sad thing is that she went back to the MLM instead of healing and finding something else that is ethical, unlike Arbonne, in my opinion. She unfortunately took a break and then she went right back into the scam, in my opinion, again.
That's an unreal amount of time to act and like to actually get over trauma. It was traumatic the way that this person actually treated me and other people in the team that like I had been like it's just, you know, right? Like we can, like we're not here to ruin anybody or anything like that. It's just, it could very well possibly be one of the most traumatic things that has ever happened to me. And that's not being dramatic.
It's not, that's actually not being dramatic. And, you know, I don't think that sharing how something affected you, you have to worry about, you know, I'm not here to slander people. We're not here to slander people, but you had an experience that shaped your journey, your business, and your life for 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a long time. And I think that, you know, like crazy team upline shit aside, most people would not stay through 2 promotions and losing those 2 promotions because, you know, like as soon as there's a failure, they're like, oh, I'm not good at this. Like, I can't do this. I already tried. Why would I try again? Right. And they never continue to go. And something I was so proud of for like that whole team, but like you also just being like, not, and this speaks to the quality of you all as people, but like not one of you left and turned into a negative network marketing person. Not one of you let that experience define what this business is. You knew that it was just a bad apple and not a bad
negative network marketing person. 2 things can be true at the same time, okay? Erin likes to say this and she's absolutely right, okay? I can feel bad for them for having an upline like that who was verbally abusive, if this is true what they were saying. But then to go on and say, oh, Well, you stayed in the MLM. You didn't go and become like a network marketing negative person. People who are ex reps left for a reason. And whatever that reason is, I mean, the majority of people in MLM, that's just statistics, data, facts, that the majority of people in MLMs don't make any profit. So people usually leave an MLM because they realize that they're not making any money, they're not profiting, they are working for free, it's an unethical business model. They leave and they have every right to share their experiences. I'm sorry, I'm shaking the camera. People are talking negatively about network marketing for a reason. It's not just out of nowhere or for no good reason. Truth is that you both are still scamming people out of money, because I don't know if you are earning some kind of money right now, but the majority of people in your downline are working for free. You get benefits off of their hard work.
Business, and that, you took what you were struggling with, like
Mhm.
your health struggles, and you were like, I'm going to weaponize myself with education and information to help people.
Yeah.
Like that.
Like I was saying in our call yesterday to like the team and stuff, I was saying that I could have very, very easily walked away and nobody would have blinked an eye.
And you should have. Oh, you really should have.
They would have totally understood. But for me, it was about figuring out and really solidifying, like, why am I still here? Like, I could have been okay with myself walking away because of everything that happened and just like so much shit. And it would have been okay.
Yeah.
And it would have been okay.
I would have been like, here's your free pass. See you later. Like, I get it. You deserve it.
Mm. But I couldn't, because I knew, and again, like you said, I knew that it was a person and not the business. I knew what this business had to offer me and what we're trying to do, the movement, the community that we're trying to create, what it meant for the people that I'm trying to help and the people that I know can benefit from the products and from benefit from being in the business.
Yeah.
Like
This is
I
like I always say.
couldn't walk away from that. The calling was too hard.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
it's like, we don't let someone doing something poorly stop us from doing it well.
All right, but you're still in a poor business model. The majority of people never make any profit. So, what calling? Oh, I guess she experienced rank up, so she knew she can rank up again for the third time and make money. So, the fact that they're talking about like the righteous thing to do and how some people are terrible people and whatnot, which fine, yeah, that's all very valid, but you're still a scammer, in my opinion.
No.
And in network marketing, like there's always kind of this battle where like, yeah, there's people who do it in a shit way and there's people who do it amazing. And what happens, because there's anybody who does it poorly, we have to change so many minds, right? That
Yeah.
it can be done well, that we're here to serve, that we're here to help, that, we're not just numbers. Like the people who are coming into our team, they're not just a number on our dashboard. And that's like legitimately what you are doing. I don't know if you
Exactly.
guys actually understand how powerful your story is. Like, I'm like sitting here
Yeah.
looking like, holy fuck, I actually don't think
I know.
how
I know.
insane that is. Yeah.
And
So
it really made me it you got, and I had this conversation with you when we were having like our traumatic, like, get over our trauma sort of chat, and I kept saying like, I don't know why this person treated me this way and didn't treat everybody else this way, and you all brought up the like, because she was afraid of your power. And so and then yesterday when I was telling my story and I watched it back on that video that you sent me, it was like, holy shit, okay, now I see it.
that's who they
Now
were.
I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're so like loving and passionate, but you have really good boundaries. And boundaries to people who benefit from people not having boundaries are like the biggest crime of all time. So of course you were, treated worse because you weren't an open doormat, right? Like you held them accountable. And
Yeah.
okay, I want to talk about like your journey in the last few months, because the first like half of the year was obviously a shit show. And then July
Yeah.
through like, what would you say, like October or September was kind of just like this transition of, healing and releasing things and finding clarity, like for all of us, myself as well. Like I just kind of felt like I was like
Oh,
in limbo and I'm like,
yeah.
what is happening? Um, but it also like, we found a lot of clarity in that and we're able to actually sit and like work through
Hmm.
all of the shit. And then October, November, December. Tell me about it.
So I think it was for the longest time after she decided to quit and whatnot, I we all didn't realize that we were all in this limbo.
Mm-hmm.
So we all felt like personally victimized by Regina George, you
Okay,
know?
it's so funny
So it was just
because
like,
at the time, like I had just absorbed this whole team and I'm doing one-on-ones with everybody. So I've got like my entire schedule is just one-on-ones with you guys. And after like my seventh one-on-one, I was like, everybody is struggling with the exact same thing. Every
mhm.
single one-on-one, it's the same problem. They're stuck in the same place. And I was like, we have to put everybody together and we need to do this out loud together so that nobody feels alone. And we all know that like that was fucked up, but
Yeah.
it is up to us to take ownership of it. And like that's a hard one because like, while that might not have been our fault, it is our
Yeah.
responsibility. It is our responsibility to deal with how it made us feel, to get ourselves out of the stuck place and to heal ourselves from it. And there is a certain accountability for ourselves that's really
So this is another problem, in my opinion. This is problematic because these people were treated poorly by this person. That person then left Arbonne, and then this person at the top absorbed her whole team, right? And then they were all going through a hard time. They were mistreated. And then she decided to get them all together and create like a group where they're all gonna share openly about what they went through. They're gonna talk about the trauma, stuff that they are healing from this person that traumatized them, and that only made them that feeling of like, oh, I'm not alone, everybody went through this, we're all healing together. That really makes the sense of community really strong, and it really brainwashes, in my opinion, these people to stay in Arbonne for longer. Even if they're not making any profit, they'd be like, oh, but this is such a great community, we've been through trauma together, we're healing from trauma together, and all that kind of stuff. It's really heartbreaking and it's really cultish. It's really good manipulation, in my opinion, from the woman at the top. I forgot their names. I'm really bad with remembering people's names, especially foreign names, like foreign names to me. So I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but I don't know their names.
hard is that we allowed this.
Yeah. The question, and it's often that, right, is like the questions that you're asking are actually the answers to your questions. If you're having to ask those questions, it's because you already know the answer.
Yeah.
You already know that you said yes to this person. You dealt with this person with white gloves. Like you walked on eggshells with this person when you could have just said anything,
Yeah.
And so like I think for me it was I had to sit with it for that long. Otherwise it didn't make sense for me. And even though it was like I thought I was by myself, when we finally had that coming to Jesus where like everybody's like, no, we all feel like this, it was like, hey, I can move on now. It was weird, but it was like almost instantaneous. This person was taking up so much fucking room in my head for so long and so much of my energy, and I felt so bad about myself, and I felt like I wish I could have anyway. And then it finally like instantly changed, and I said, okay, I'm gonna pull up my big girl panties now and let's fucking go. Because I developed my coaching in that period. I wasn't working really my Arbonne business that much. I was more focusing on my coaching of my nutrition clients. And it was really there that it was like, okay, the way that I'm doing my coaching now, I can see how it fits. And I can see how many of these women need what we're doing.
Yep.
I have to keep going, and I have to build this bigger. And I have to, like, my vision and my image for it became so much bigger.
Yeah.
And then
No matter how good, which I don't agree that Arbonne products are that good, especially for nutritionists to be shilling them to their customers. But anyway, that's just my opinion. No matter how good a product might be from an MLM company, never justifies the fact that the majority of arbonne distributors, MLM distributors in general, never make any profit. They are working for free. They are advertising this MLM company on social media for free. The majority of them are never gonna profit, up to 99% of them. This is not a made up number. This is proven by the FTC. All the sources are always linked in the description of my videos, so you can take a look if you're new here, but never a justification to stay in a scam and keep scamming your clients out of money. She's maybe brainwashed. She's been through trauma. She found healing in the MLM, unfortunately, where she experienced the trauma itself. So, I feel like she has very small chances of realizing that she's actually scamming people out of money. And the one at the top, I think, personally, in my opinion, she knows exactly what she's doing. So that's just my opinion. You guys can let me know down below what you think.
Everything that's going on in my personal life and everything with my day job and with my family and everything that I want needed for me to think bigger.
Yes.
And so, but I said, I'm not going to do it just to do it this time. If I'm going to do it, it's going to be sustainable. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it the Meg way. And so in October, I got 2,800 QV or whatever, which in order to promote to the first level of management, you need to have 6,000 QV over 2 months. I did 28 with the intention of closing it out the next month, and I hit 25, which is maintenance QV for the level of district manager. And so like I think I needed like 490 QV to promote between the two.
It was like
I don't remember what it was, but it was like,
it was under
okay.
500. Yeah.
But so I told Ashley, I'm like, but if it's not there yet, so I don't want it yet because I didn't earn it yet. And then in December, when it is the slowest month
I was about to say,
in
I'm like,
many industries.
November is the biggest month of the year for us, followed by immediately the slowest month of the year.
Yeah. And that's not just our business. Like that's a lot of businesses are very slow in December. And I said, if I can hit that 2,500 brick again, I will be happy. I will be happy with that promotion because it means that I can keep doing it, because I never hit 2,500 2 months in a row ever in my 2 years of this business. Never.
Yeah, it was always
more
like
than 2 months in a row.
Yeah, like a crazy push for a promotion, and then like a massive fall because the volume wasn't sustainable. And something that, is so important is like when you're promoting, there will be a little push. Okay. Yeah. So I'm like, let's say 20 to 30% over what you're usually doing. Mm-hmm. Great. That's a push. What we don't want is being shoved into a promotion. And being shoved into a promotion is like you're having to do like double what you usually do to like triple, right? Especially as a district manager, where it's like, if I had a really big gap to go nation, I'm going to fill that gap through my promotion, which was something that didn't happen for your team. And that's also why it wasn't great. And you bring in more people to sustain it. But as a district manager, you're usually doing it by yourself. Yeah. So if it's a massive shove to get the promotion, it's not going to be sustained.
No. And so the first 2 times that I did it, I was doing actions and I was doing, activity to gain those numbers that weren't a return or aligned with the way that I run my business. And so in December, when I knew that I wanted it, and I said, okay, I've done these things. What can I do differently now that's going to continue to grow my business, not just in December, but the rest of the time? Like, what can I change in the way that I'm doing my business that not only feels good for me, but it's a return on investment action, where it's like, I'm not taking time away from my family and my day job and all of these things in order to just get a month worth of numbers, and it's not going to keep going. And what I did is I did group coaching classes for my nutrition clients. on specific subjects that I knew were going to be important for them going into the holiday season, which was gut health and how to support it during the holiday season.
And this is
which
in person, right?
In person. Yeah. And so,
sorry, I'm not laughing at what she just said. By the way, this is a very, very long video already. So I'm trying to stay silent. I'm trying to not pause for too much and just let them talk.
it was not arbonne based. It was 10 different ways that you can support your gut health, of which one of the 10 ones was taking a quality supplement. And by giving
one of 10.
1 out of 10.
1 of 10. That's insane.
Yeah. And seeing that there was value in what I was doing and that I was the authority on the subject, they trusted me when it came down to the taking the supplement piece.
Yep.
And the fact that I wasn't shoving it in their faces, that they realized the value that they would be gaining by doing 1 through 10. And it came up more organically. It came up more naturally. So I gained 2 different clients from those, and 3 clients that I already had who hadn't purchased since the previous time I promoted started buying again because they finally saw the value of what I had to offer, instead of me just, when somebody's coming to you just for the sale or just from the number, it's obvious.
Yes, it is.
You can feel it. You can feel it.
Yes, it is self-driven, and it like drips with ick.
Yeah.
And what is so cool is that as soon as you took a step back from like how you were being taught, which was that it was all self-driven, there was no like, we're helping other people and like there's a positive mission here, you were able to find your purpose. And this was something that I also did after this happened. And it was like, okay, what am I doing here and how am I actually serving people? And a lot of the time when we're serving people, it doesn't really have a ton to do with the actual products and business, right? Like for you, it's like you took your passion for nutrition and for helping women's gut health and helping them take control of their health and bled it through arbonne. But because they were being served so heavily from you, that the one suggestion that was arbonne, took it, right? And like for myself, I'm like, we both fundamentally changed the way we ran our business because of this. So I'm forever grateful for that. And for you, it was right, like trying to figure out a way that you could support women in having the vision and knowing that it's actually okay for them to have this vision and how to build it. Because like you've said over and over again, like, I don't really care about the numbers at this point. What I want is to have aligned people with me so that I can help them with whatever their vision actually is. Yeah. And like, that was huge for me because it was always like, you're a nation, you hit this goal and you do this. And I took a step back and was like, no, what is the impact and what am I creating with this business? Because it's more than just selling products. And for me, I figured out that I really love helping women step into their power and find their voice.
Helping women step into their power while working for free in this MLM biz. How are you helping them do anything? You are using these women for your personal financial benefits, in my opinion. I don't like the smirk that the woman on top has throughout this whole video. I really personally don't like her vibe.
And their confidence and, just allowing themselves to be seen in a world that wants us to change and alter ourselves and not show up as we are and not use our true voice or any of those things. And I was like, oh, so my passion is actually mentorship, coaching, and mindset coaching women. And I'm like, that's actually what I like to do. But again, I'm able to take that passion and bleed it through my business. And I use arbonne as, the vehicle to open up the possibility, right? It's like, once you are in your power and you know who the you are, you can take something like network marketing and explode it.
Yeah. And that's the difference. That's the difference between having somebody who is in it for themselves as your upline and somebody who creates that space for you to figure out what it is that you want in your business. Because we talk all the time about how like Arbonne is simply the vehicle. There are tons of network marketing companies out there. There are tons of different avenues that you can use to develop your personal business, whether it's nutrition coaching, personal training, whatever. But it's having the right person at the helm to create that space and to lift you up. And like somebody said in the comments, right? Like leaders don't push, they pull. So you have the experience and you have a certain sort of space that you hold for people, and then you draw in the right people when you're doing it the aligned way.
And that's the thing is like I learned the hard way that when you're not clear, you will attract unaligned people. And then what happened was I had a very unaligned organization. And I was like, why does my business feel so hard? Well, actually, you built it in a not aligned way. And what we actually did was I held a culture reset and standard of excellence call.
Yeah.
And I essentially pumped the brakes and was like, full stop, this is fucking changing. Whether you have been here for 4 years or it's your first fucking training, everything about the way that we have run our business, the way we show up, the way that we, prioritize things, it's changing. And this has to.
I'm sorry, but I hope you didn't cuss at your downline in that way. But also, just cussing in general on what's supposed to be a professional call is very unprofessional, in my opinion.
To be what it is, and we need to have core values in our business and in our lives so that we don't deviate from what's aligned with us, right? Because it's like one of my core values is I don't do things the easy way, I do them the right way.
Yeah.
And so if there's an opportunity that comes up where I'm like, oof, that would be so much easier, but that is not fucking right, it puts me back into my aligned space, right? And it's been really cool. Like you've seen it too, like all the women in the team, they're all finding their fucking like mission and passion. And what it's done is it's like, help them show up as their authentic selves, but be so much more excited about what they're doing because it doesn't feel like work and it doesn't feel hard.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like you're fighting a battle. Like it's like,
don't want to feel like
it doesn't really matter if it feels like work or not. Fact is that you're still working and not getting paid for the work and effort that you're doing. Not these two, but the majority of women in their downline, majority of people that they're talking about, like wanted to help them and whatnot. Those people are working for free and you're getting benefits off of their hard work. I don't know how many times I said that throughout this video, but like it needs to be said because it really puts this whole shit show of a call, a live stream into perspective, doesn't it?
You're working a full-time job and only be making $300 a month for it. You don't. Like it's that simple. Like the average income for a district manager, right, is between 300 and 1,000, I believe, or 500 and 1,000. It's like you shouldn't be working this like your full-time job. Yes, it's work. You still need to put in the work and whatnot, but it needs to be designed for that.
Why did you jump to that? By the way, I don't think those numbers are correct, but also why did you jump? Why do we keep ignoring the most busy rank, the lowest rank where the majority of distributors sit at? I believe 70% of people in Arbonne are on the lowest rank, independent consultant rank, not making any profit. Their median annual earnings are $135. So why are we skipping to higher ranks? Why don't we acknowledge the rank where the majority of people in your downline are sitting at, working for free?
Sort of level of income. You're not going to be doing all the graphics. You're not going to be preparing all of the Facebook groups. You're not going to be doing this. You're not going to be doing, you can't. Otherwise, that's where you become unaligned and it's just like, it's not worth it.
And also,
and it feels like I'm being forced to do this in order to level up. For me, because it's part of my nutrition coaching business and it's what I'm trying to build, then it makes sense to do certain actions. But it was the ones that I was being forced to do before that it was just like, why am I having to take care of your people? That's your job. That is quite literally your job.
And there's like a massive difference. And this is something that my business coach has worked with me too, because I carry so much responsibility that I have a hard time allowing other people to do things. And there is a point, and the point is not national vice president, independent consultant. Okay.
Yeah.
The point is like bonusing area, regional vice president, where you start to, let people take things over and build their leadership and get comfortable, like building a team and doing trainings and all the things. Hi, sweet baby. Can you go, daddy? But like my business coach said to me, he's like, hey, shh, I'm on a live.
Hi, Brooks.
Just gonna lose it really quick. But he's like, why do you have to have control of everything? And I was like, well, it's not their job to do it for my team.
Yeah.
And he's like, how are they ever going to grow a successful team if you never let them lead? And I was like, that's true. But I think because I was overcompensating for that experience
Yeah.
that you guys had, let's go get an adult, please, so that he can go. Okay, come on. Yeah, mommy's working. Go find daddy. Go find daddy. He loves coming on lives. It's like he knows I have a camera and he does it. But it's hard.
He's not coming on lives because he loves coming. He just wants your attention. I mean, you've been sitting here for 36 minutes already. Can you not just... Oh, whatever.
To like allow other people to do things when, especially like you guys having had that freaking experience where I was like, it's not your job.
Yeah.
A national vice president does not ask independent consultants and district managers to look after their people. That's not mentorship.
Yeah.
Right?
Because if you can't support those people themselves, then you shouldn't have brought them on in the first place, which means that you shouldn't be at that level. You're being paid according to your responsibility to your team and to the company that you're working for.
Yes, 100%.
Plain and simple.
That's right. It's like, I have no problem being like, I work way harder than anybody else in this team. I earn more money. It's my job. It's my job to have things set up for you. It's my job to make sure things are going well. Right? Like that's
It's your job to make sure things are going well. Translation in multi-level marketing, it's my job to keep motivating my downline to work harder, to grow the team, to sell more, because ultimately I get benefits off of my downline's work. So the fact that she's saying, I mean, we know that the majority of income in MLMs comes from their team, from their downline. And the fact that they like to say, oh, I work harder than anyone else. No, the majority of your income comes from your downline working hard, not you. There's nothing that pisses me off more than top rep in an MLM not being grateful. At least be grateful and acknowledge that you are where you are because your team is huge and because your team is working. You did not get there by yourself. Your team got you there. Their work got you there. And the majority of them are not profiting while you're sitting at the top pretending that you work more than anyone else in the team. In my opinion, that's such bullshit.
my job, and that is literally what I am paid for.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like there's a difference between allowing people to like, make space for them to step into their leadership and dumping your responsibility on people so you're not doing your job.
Yeah. I agree.
So I was just like, I wanted to talk with Meg because we had talked so much about the Meg way. I was like, hey, you haven't found it yet. That's fine. You need to find the Meg way. And it takes however long it takes to find that. Yeah. And so Meg closed her promotion in 3 months, doing district manager maintenance of 2,500 or more by herself.
No, I have one teammate. Yeah.
Okay. One teammate. We love you, teammate. But I looked at your personal sales. Okay, I saw your personal sales.
Yeah.
I acknowledged that they were very high.
Yeah. No, and they're higher than they've ever been, which meant that I knew that I was doing it the right way this time.
Yeah. And it was so cool to see you close this in December and earlier than you needed to.
Yeah.
Like close it early in December. It was like we all got to December and we're like, we know our mission, we know what we're doing, and we don't let 1 month fuck with.
So I want to comment what they said here. So they said that she has only one teammate underneath her, but she's also a nutritionist who is selling these products, these arbonne products, to her clients. So in my opinion, that's why. I mean, I think personally still you can't get to like the tippy top of arbonne without having a team. Maybe she's got a bit of a following on social media if she's professional bodybuilder. But the fact is that she has a lot of clients because she's an actual nutritionist and she's selling these arbonne products to her clients, and that's why she probably has better sales than maybe someone else who is not a nutritionist and doesn't have a clientele that they can sell these products to.
Our fuck with our energy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It was the first, like I had only ever done one in-person event before. And so like when I was just like, this is the one piece that is actually missing from my business, and the power of being in person. We've talked about this is so much better. And it's more aligned for me too, because I'm a projector, right? So like I put out the information, but I feel really cringe and gross going and grabbing
Yeah.
the people. I can't. It's just like it gives me so much anxiety. So I took that force of mine of being an educator, and then it drew the people to me instead.
Yes.
So that's when I was able to do the education part on the gut health twice in a week. I texted you right afterwards. I'm like, I've never felt more lit up and aligned with anything ever in my life.
And
ever. Like,
I think that's like something people need to hear so much because, like, think about it. Okay, so when you think network marketing, the first things that come up for people is usually like, okay, you're going to do it on social media
yeah,
and you're going to reach out to everybody that you know and you're going to text everybody that you know. And essentially, you're going to pester them to death to buy your products.
yeah.
And that is, first of all, not what we do at all. And there's so many different ways to do it where it's like in person converts better always because that person, like, they get your energy, they're with you, they have a sense of community, they get to like do things in person in life. And it just works out so much better. And you're able to teach people that it doesn't have to be through social media. And it
Um,
doesn't have to be reach outs and it doesn't have to be any fucking way that feels terrible to you.
yeah. They're all tools that can be used
Yeah, it doesn't have to be, but how many people are like nutritionists that can sell this to their clients? Come on.
for different sort of people, but they're not the end all be all, right? Like you can use like there's women who've been in this business for 20 plus years who social media didn't exist.
Our
And
been
they're
around for 45 years.
exactly
Like
and they're like 8 wide MVPs. Like
they had order
so
forms.
yeah.
They were doing
Yeah.
parties. Yeah.
Tupperware parties. Like and so it's just like
They got into the business early. They did whatever they had to do back then to recruit more people. And now they have huge teams underneath them. And they don't have to use social media anymore because they're top reps. They're always going to have people in their downline and they don't have to work as much. All they have to do is keep motivating their downline to keep working and keep recruiting for them. So yeah, that's nothing new. That's just how that works in MLMs, in old MLMs.
there's so many ways that you can run your business, and that was one of the things too, is that like I was taught the social media way because that's all that person ever knew. She didn't even do her first in-person event until after she was already an MVP or an RVP, excuse me.
Yeah. And it's
What?
like when you come into the team, you're not forced to work a certain way. You are
No.
shown a wide variety of how people work. And this is why culture and community is so important because when we are a united team and we're aligned, we share the different ways that we work. We share different tactics that work for us and what we did. We want other people to find their way as well. And you work so different than I work. And I
Mhm.
work different than Miriam works, who works different than Savannah works, right? Like we're all different.
Yeah.
And so you're taught and shown so many different ways now. And you're like, what works for you? And like there
Mhm.
is trial and error, right? Like try something, you find it's not working, great, pivot. But there's so many different ways to do things. And the number one important thing is to do it like yourself, right?
Mhm.
Like there's no copy paste messages. There's no make this content, do this. It's like, no, if it's not like, even when people are like, hey, can you give me verbiage? I'm like, I could give you an idea of what points to hit, but I can't form the words for you because then it's me and it's not you. So how
Mhm.
do you want to talk to this
Mhm.
person?
All right, great. You're such a great leader. I think we've heard enough. There's a few minutes left, but I really want to go check up on my kitties. We've been here for a very long time at this point, but man, that was some toxic wow stuff. So I'm gonna leave that here. I'm gonna wrap that one up here. Please leave your thoughts below, your comments. If I missed something along the way, I'm sure I did because I was a little bit distracted by looking outside. But thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. That truly helps me out so much. And don't forget that there's a free way to support my channel if you would like to by subscribing and liking this video. And as always, big shout out to all my channel members. Thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.